So welcome everybody to Black Cat Chat. My name's Andy Clow, Marketing Director here at Black Cat. For those of you that have joined us before, you'll see that we're in unfamiliar surroundings. We're actually in a professional recording studio, which is our first time. So myself, I'm definitely learning stuff on this. So when I move away from the microphone, I start going quiet and get shouted at, I apologise. I'm going to work my best on doing that there. But we've come up to Birmingham today, myself and Joe, who produces this for us, to join two of our Birmingham lead and one of our specialist building surveyors. So I'm going to introduce those now. And so starting with you, Rob Green, Birmingham lead. You've been with Black Cat for, remind me how long?
It's about 3 years now.
About 3 years now. And then sat to your right, we've got Mack Argent. Another surveyor. So how long have you been here? We were talking about this a minute ago.
Yeah, pretty much three years to the day.
Just a little bit longer though,
yeah,
right?
Just a little bit longer.
Fine. So let's throw this over to you, Rob, as to why we've come up here today. It's not just about getting on the train and going out of a miserable London. How are you doing? And tell me a bit about yourself and Black Cat.
Very well, thank you, Andy. I joined Black Cat, as I said, about 3 years ago. Before that, I was at Malcolm Hollis. Kind of started there 2008. That was very much kind of a dilapidation specialist role. They were a dilapse specialist company at the time. I saw that as a little bit of a pigeonhole, so I wanted to move somewhere and get a little bit more project experience. Went to Lambert Smith-Hampton, did a couple of years doing projects for BT. Then moved on to CBRE, where quite a few of the ex-Black Cat...
Yeah, CBRE comes out a lot from this.
Did 10 years there, got quite a rounded experience in all kind of different sectors and service lines. And then Black Cat came knocking. It was an opportunity to set up a Birmingham team, right? Which was just hugely exciting at the time. I'd heard a little bit about Black Cat. May kind of 23, I joined Mack, and we've gone from there.
Right, okay, so it's a perfect opportunity to switch over to you, mate. So Rob joined you.
He did, yeah.
Tell us about how were you at Black Cat first? Give us a little bit of that, and then we'll go into a little bit into
your so I joined about probably 4 or 5 months before Rob, January 23. My history was at one company. I'd been at Workman since I graduated for roughly 11 years. So it was a good place, good grounding, good exposure to a number of clients. And in the later part of my career there, I was working predominantly on retail assets, so service charge works and project stuff. Right. And that led me into Black Cat and joining Rob.
So what was the crossover? Where were you found? How were you found? Were you working with colleagues of ours already?
No. Well, yes, there was a crossover on a particular asset where Black Cat were working on already. So I knew of Lisa Phone, who was in the Bristol office, so she was working on an asset that I was working on in previous employment. And there was probably 3 or 4 old colleagues that were working at Black Cat and had been speaking to me when we went out for a beer or caught up over Christmas about how good Black Cat was and what they were doing. And it was really exciting. So I actually got introduced to Barnsley and Ben via a previous friend and colleague. We just went for a coffee, hit it off, spent about 2 hours in Tim Hortons. Yeah, I know. 2 hours in Tim Hortons listening to Barnsley sell the business. Ben just sat there nodding.
Sell the dream.
Yeah. But I knew, after meeting those two guys, it was where I wanted to go, next step in my career, and took the jump and joined, and then followed shortly after by Rob.
By Rob. Okay, so in terms of let's just flesh out the team now that's based in Birmingham, because obviously we are Manchester historically, and we've got all these other offices. I can't remember in what order we opened the offices in. So what was open before? Manchester, Bristol?
There was London, Manchester, Bristol. And then obviously I think the guys wanted an office in the second city, Birmingham being the heart of the country. So it was a great opportunity to set up and service our clients in the Midlands.
That makes sense. So how many have we got now?
There are 7 of us in Birmingham at the moment. So it's Mack and myself. Laura joined us in the sport team.
Yep.
We were then joined by Sam Sims, who's Nottingham based. So it's fantastic. We've got East Midlands and West Midlands coverage. We were then joined by Sam Jennings, who looks after M&E.
Yes.
And then Sam brought Adnan in as well to to bolster the M&E team. We look after M&E across the entire country from Birmingham.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to meeting with those guys in this situation as well, because I hope to get them in today. But I think he was off down in Exeter servicing a business down there, so that makes sense. So we've opened the Birmingham office. We've been there for a couple of years now as a team. It's grown, and so in terms of the specialisms that you yourself bring to Black Cat in general, give us a little bit of a rundown of that.
Well, Birmingham was a great starting point because we had the two of us working together. My background is very much professional work. I looked after the dilapidation service line at CBRE. I do a lot of technical due diligence. I think in the previous podcasts with Black Cat, they've mentioned there's kind of two sides to building surveying. Yep. You have very much professional services, project services. In the Midlands, Mack and I do everything. But as I say, my main specialism has been the professional side. Mack specialises in the project side. So from that, we've grown nicely together as a business, looking after the clients. Yeah.
So okay, well, thanks, Rob. That's great. So you kind of fed up Mack there to actually give us a bit of an explanation as to what you do that's slightly different and how you guys come together and work well as a team.
Yeah, so a lot of the work that I do was project management, contract administration, specifically in the retail sector, and it works quite well because we're able to sort of Q&A each other's work, and we just complement each other well. We've got a different set of skill sets, and we talk pretty much daily on jobs that we're working on, share thoughts, and it just works really well. We've got a nice relationship in that regard.
Yeah. Now, when we first met, if I cast my mind back, when I first joined the company, I was keen to, and still am keen to meet different people and to come see some of the specialisms. You gave me a tour around some, which was great. I got my first time. I had to get the hard hat on and the boots and everything. And we went and we looked around the shopping centre in Dudley.
Yes, Merry Hill Shopping Centre.
Yeah. So that to me was a fascinating experience to see behind the curtain, of that. And now that's obviously been a great experience for you, and it's a massive project, right?
Yes.
So give us maybe a bit of a background as to that, as examples of your work.
Yeah, so I was actually working on that with a previous employer, and Lisa was working on behalf of the client for Black Cat, which is where we crossed paths, and we were doing a number of jobs that sort of intertwined with each other. The leisure scheme, there was a number of jobs on there that we were working on, so we built up a good relationship with Lisa. But yeah, been involved in Merry Hill Shopping Centre for probably 5 or 6 years, and their sort of short to medium term vision was regeneration of areas of the shopping centre to create leisure malls, destinations for people to come, F&B providers and services there. So yeah, I've sort of gave you a tour and a walkthrough of jobs that we've worked on over the course of the last 3-4 years.
It's a massive shopping centre, right? So I'm in the south, so I don't necessarily know all the shopping centres in the Midlands, and I wouldn't have expected something of that scale to be where it is. So you to be working on it for 6 years is not a surprise. But give us, there were some retailers in there I'd not heard of, some real kind of flagship stores.
Yes, so new to the UK market was XF Gym and Harvey Norman. They've both opened their first sites in England, and that was at Merry Hill, and it was the repurposing of the old Debenham space. So that was pretty interesting to be involved in, because I was involved from inception through to handover and the tenants fit out, and they are pretty cool retailers. One's obviously a leisure and another one's a retailer, but they both look really good and bring some excitement and footfall to the scheme.
And that must be happening nationwide, since obviously Debenhams, which was this massive footprint everywhere. I've seen it in my local town, it's changing to a Next and all those kind of things. So yeah, that sounds good. Have there been any other opportunities of that scale you've been working on?
Yes, there has. Yeah, there's a number of department stores, like you say, that are struggling in the current climate, and landlords are left with challenges to deal with those challenges. That space that typically retailers are not taking, given the size now. So looking at repurposing and what can be done, and we're heavily involved in a number of schemes across the offices and across the country. Brilliant. Which is exciting.
So, so that's really interesting. So I think actually let's flip back to you now, Rob, in terms of what are you working on that differs from that?
So Mack talks a lot about retail. My workload, especially at Black Cat, has been very much industrial. Okay. So we have a number of clients that are looking to purchase industrial assets, logistic assets across the country. We recently advised a client on the acquisition of 48 industrial units on one single multi-let estate,
Right.
which was fantastic. It was a very short turnaround. There was a lot of detail that we needed to go into for there's 48 leases to review, for example. So to do that in a very short timescale is it was good to turn it around for them and meet their deadlines. Off the back of that, there's obviously 48 units where we can do dilapidations, we can help them with repairs notices, we can advise them. There's lots we can do. Another example of something that I'm leading at the moment is we have a client who is looking to acquire 12 industrial assets across 3 separate portfolios. We've got about 20 days to report. We're looking at 3 million square foot of property across the country.
So you shouldn't be here, really. Yeah. Okay.
All pre-Christmas as well.
Yeah, all pre-Christmas. And we've got a large team looking at that. We're looking at the building fabric. We're looking at the M&E. Half of the assets didn't have measured surveys, so we've lined up a team of surveyors to go out and do full measurements on these sites. And we're not talking about small boxes. We're talking about some of them are 500,000 square feet. They're fully fitted out. They're fully wrapped. So measuring those assets and turning around the reports in the short timescales is quite impressive. I don't want to blow Black Cat's trumpet too much, but there's not many businesses that have.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. There's not many businesses that have the team that can mobilise that quickly, get in and turn these reports around the way that we're doing at the moment, which is fantastic.
Okay, so then that seems to work really well with our director-led model. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. And to be fair, Andy, that's one of the key changes that I've seen in the business over the last 3 years. So when I started, we were a director-only business.
Yeah.
I say that we were directors and associate directors, but I think we had one associate director at the time. And the business continued to expand, and everybody has a certain level of experience, which means that every client is being serviced by someone that has the knowledge to do the job at hand very well, very quickly. But with that amount of knowledge in the business, it's only right to kind of give something back.
Yeah.
And the change has been that I think it was with the acquisition of the Southampton office that we brought in a couple of graduate surveyors, and then from that it's expanded. It's grown arms and legs. We now have apprentice surveyors, we have graduate surveyors, we have surveyors, we have the full remit. And when you do have a portfolio of this size, 12 sites that you need to get around very quickly, then each asset is still being managed and led by a director, but they're supported by the apprentices, and that's fantastic because they can pick up things and help the directors, but they can also learn all the way through that process.
That's a perfect definition of how I've seen Black Cat change even in the year I've been here, and then sit here on the podcast speaking to different people, from the founders all the way through to some of those juniors. If anyone's listened to the podcast before, we've had some of those graduates sat down with me, so it's really good to see that it's affecting all of the offices, and actually the impact that they're having on your workload and actually the capacity is really good. So Mack, you've been here just that little bit longer.
Yeah.
What's your kind of input or feedback on how you've seen Black Cat change over those years?
Well, I think 3 years is not a particularly long time, and I think we've probably gone from 4 offices to 8 offices and
8 now.
30 staff, I think, when I joined, to probably 60, 70 staff now. So
75 today.
So, okay, I can't keep up, to be honest with you, but
Yeah.
I think, in 3 years, the business has probably doubled in size, so you'd expect to see drastic changes. But I can hand on heart say that nothing in those 3 years has changed from me from a day-to-day point of view. I'll just go about doing what I need to do in the Birmingham office with Rob, supporting him. And like I say, I think there's scope to grow with additional support, graduates, apprentices, what that might look like in Birmingham, and that's pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, there's no better time to join Black Cat. It doesn't matter what level you are now. You can speak to us, and there's an opportunity to come and work with the best team in the business.
Should have saved that for the end wrap up there, I think. But that's really great to hear from.
We're definitely the best singers in the business. We did the Suspicious Minds on the away day.
Dude, I was very close to that karaoke and trying to get to sleep, and it was maybe it was better downstairs.
So we finished up, and then we called out Bristol to put on the next song, but they declined. They couldn't follow up with Suspicious Minds.
I think that's a nice segue into actually something else about Black Cat, which when I first joined, at the time where I could have come to last year's away, we call it an away week. It's like 3 or 4 days. The entire business, of at least 90% of the business, makes their way out to almost a traitors style castle down in the West Country, and everything's laid on for us. It's a very relaxed atmosphere. There's no breakouts to have little meetings. It's a very strange little thing. So I didn't want to do it first year, but I went to it this year, had a fantastic time, met loads more of the team, and that's quite a weird thing for a business like ours, especially the scale that is now of 75 to do. 10 people, it's easy to do, but that kind of core element of the business is great. And then the other bits that we do with the teams is we try to support local sports teams, and I think actually Rob and I, we've got something in common. All three of us are cricket lovers, and sadly, considering the time, if we look at the date of recording, we've just been smashed by the Aussies. In the first test, we can always come back, it'll be fine. But, so we both support our kids' cricket teams. Why don't you give us a little bit of insight into yours? Let's get a little bit of a plug.
So cricket is brilliant. I turned up in the Birmingham office, and I told Mack how much I love cricket. He then turned up every Monday morning and put his highlights on YouTube.
His personal highlights.
I don't love cricket that much, Mack, but thank you. But yeah, no, I'm a big cricket fan. I remember watching the World Cup final with loads of mates came around to my house, and my son was kind of 4 or 5 at the time, and watched this brilliant game of cricket and all these people enjoying it, and he just wanted to go down to the local cricket club, and he's just loved it ever since. He's been there since he was 5 years old. He plays in the under-12s now. He's been lucky enough to play for county. So yeah, cricket, Avonscroft, fantastic. Love the place. It's such a great community on a Friday night, and Black Cat have been great enough to support them. We offered some sponsorship money a couple of years ago that bought a roll-on net. It enabled the club to put an AstroTurf pitch in, which means that even more kids can come on a Friday night and play cricket, and it's fantastic. Yeah,
having done a similar thing with my son's club, I'm a wannabe coach, if you like, with the under-13s, as they will be this year. And again, the support that Black Cat gave us, just willingly, just like, yeah, sure, let's go for it, has enabled us to, access facilities that we wouldn't have had otherwise. And cricket as a game is, man, we could make this into a cricket podcast, right? We talked about this.
Yeah.
Cricket as a game, as a father of 2 kids that go to state school, cricket is not cared about. So actually, it's really important that a little bit of this philanthropy, if you want, or support that businesses like ours and thousands up and down the country do with grassroots sports and activities. It makes such a difference to those kids, because you can just offer that extra facility you might have. So we're there renting these incredible facilities at a private school on a Tuesday night that if I had the money, I'd send my kids to there for full time. But it's very difficult. But I don't really play that much anymore, and I never was that good. But Matt, if you're bringing in highlight reels, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know.
Can we cut to that now, Joe? Yeah, can we have a little? We need a little snippet to come over of Mack hitting it for 6 or getting.
Well, I know Rob's son plays at county level, and I don't know where he gets his talent from, because I've seen Rob play. We were about 2 years ago. I think we fairly new to the business. We played a client match down in London, which was really good fun, wasn't it? And we had a few drinks and a barbecue afterwards. But most of the offices were descended on London, and we played against one of our clients, and to be honest with you, it's a good job the Birmingham office went, because we held it together.
I wasn't out of the business at the time. I would love to do that. Maybe that's something we will look at trying to do again next year. You identify the clients, and I'm sure we can get together a team. We've got Henry in London's pretty good as well. So we've got a few players.
Just keep James Dyson away from the team.
Okay, fair enough. He's a rugby guy though.
Yeah, he is. But I think we'll hopefully make it a full house with sponsorship. I think the plan is to hopefully sponsor my village team.
Okay, give us a little plug on your village team.
So Belbroughton Cricket Club.
Okay.
So hopefully, we'll. You've been very kind to say that you'd be.
I've said yes.
Sponsoring. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot now. Sponsor us for next year.
How much for, Mack?
It's a lot less than yours, but it's just back of the shirt.
Now's your opportunity.
But no, it's something that Black Cat are very good at. You get the feeling, I know Barnsley can come across scary sometimes, but he's genuinely, if you pick the phone up and said to him, look, can I do this? Have I got that? You almost don't really need to ask, but it's always, nice and respectful to do so. But that he's, 9 times out of 10, he's going to say yeah, and he'll support you.
Yeah.
And that's the way the business is. They want the staff and everyone to be happy away from work, as well as at work as well.
Absolutely, yeah. The work-life balance is a cliche that's been around for a very long time, but I think, yeah, definitely for the first time in my career, it does seem to be genuine.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Right, so as much as I would love to sit here and speak with you guys, talk with you guys about just cricket, which I'm sure we could probably do, let's get back into Black Cat business. So what's happening these days? What's happening? We've talked about the past, we've talked about the present. Let's talk about now. What's happening?
Just opportunities to join the business, grow the business. For the first time ever, we are Black Cat. We're not Black Cat Building Consultancy.
That's right.
When I joined, it was purely building surveyors. We've now got quantity surveyors, M&E. We do rating. We're a multidisciplinary business. So with that, the opportunity is huge. Don't look at the podcast and think, I'd love to go and work at Black Cat, but it's not what I do. If you do something well, no matter who you are, come and talk to us. Talk to me, talk to Mack, talk to Dice, Barnsley, Ben. Have an honest conversation, because if you do something well in the property arena, there's an opportunity for you to come and work here. Specifically for Birmingham, I think we've talked about how Mack and I work well together. I do a lot of industrial work, I do a lot of professional work. Mack works in retail, he does a lot of project management work. We have got huge specialisms elsewhere in the business. We have someone that focuses on building control, we have fire consultancy, and these are things that we would reach out to other offices for support on. Yeah. So there's a perfect opportunity if you work in offices, if you work in office fit out, come and work in Birmingham. At the moment, we speak to Manchester, we speak to Bristol, who do a lot of that kind of thing. Yeah. But it'd be great to have that in-house in Birmingham. If you're QS and you want to work for Birmingham Black Cat, pick up the phone, speak to me.
I mean, so obviously as the Birmingham lead, that sounds like you're just putting forward a little bit. There's opportunities to grow in this team, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're on the recruitment drive.
We are on a recruitment drive. If you're knowledgeable, if you're good at what you do, pick up the phone, speak to me.
That's really cool. Yeah.
And just on that, I think in the last 12 months we've resourced some educational stuff supporting the Manchester office, as well as some office in and around Birmingham as well. So it's stuff that we are already doing, but looking to have a big drive on it over the course of the next 6 months, I suppose.
Brilliant. Okay, guys. Now, that's the team. We're looking to grow the team. Before we sat down in here, we were just having a bit of an open conversation about, activities and opportunities with projects. Now, without naming any projects, why don't you just give us a little bit of a hint of some exciting stuff that is coming up?
We've already touched on obviously Merry Hill, but there's a couple of other large shopping centres in and around the West and East Midlands that we are involved in, and the pipeline for work over the course of the next next 6 months to 5 years is really exciting. So looking at project work, service charge work, wayfinding, and all the stuff around leisure schemes. It's pretty exciting stuff, and we're heavily involved in that going forward. So there's definitely opportunities to grow.
Brilliant.
We've got a couple of industrial clients that have got a lot of money to spend over the next 2 to 3 years as well, and they're looking at acquiring a lot of property. So there's a lot of technical due diligence that we can do, and when they buy those estates, they need some help managing them, doing the dilapidations, managing the works afterwards. So there's a whole host of works going on.
Right, so guys, it's been a pleasure, coming up to Birmingham, meeting with you guys, to go through this. Now, just before we actually wrap up, let's acknowledge what time of year it is, okay? Because it's all right. It's still November now, but everyone's getting in the Christmas spirit, and by the time we actually have time to get this out on air, this might be going live Christmas Day. Who knows? So let's have a little insight as to what we've got planned up here for the Christmas period as a business. What are we doing?
Christmas party is going to be I think it's called Lane 7, so it's bowling, but there's all kinds of different activities in there.
Right, okay.
We're a really competitive office.
I've heard.
Unfortunately, Mack is really good at everything and wins most things, so we're going to go and try and take him down. There's so many things.
It's a pain being that guy, right? I hate it. I hate it.
I've got to stay away from the table tennis because Rob is unbeatable.
Okay, fair enough.
There's so many things at Lane 7 that we will take him down at something. And then we've got a restaurant booked afterwards. I think the challenge is to eat everything on the menu. It's a tapas place, and we're just going to order everything and then see how the evening goes.
Get your money's worth. It's more Black Cat is to drink everything, so eating everything's a nice novel change.
We got close last year with the menu, We just need another big boy like me, add to the team. So
that's
on
the
recruitment,
then.
yeah.
Okay.
If you're like 18 stone and plus, we're interested.
All right, guys. So, I think we've done plenty on the recruitment phase there, and I think hopefully this, if this reaches the right people, and maybe they look back and they say, "Oh yeah, I saw you guys on the podcast. It's really worth doing." That's fine. So, thank you very much for coming in. Look forward to chatting with you guys again at some point, and thank you to any of our listeners and viewers for joining us again on Black Cat Chat. If I don't speak to you before, Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.